Emily Marseille from the University of Exeter in England. On behalf of GWNet, the Global Women's Network for the Energy Transition, I'm presenting our next portrait of the Energy Transition Role Models series. This initiative is supported by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy. We are here today with Maysoon Al-Khuraissat. Maysoon is an accredited professional in architecture with a specialty in sustainability and green building design. She's also a trainer in the field of green buildings with over 18 years of international experience. She's the founder of adaa, Sustainable Development Consultants, a specialized consultancy firm in green design and green building certification, and the winner of Women Innovators in Charge competition, the green tech sector. Maysoon leads and participates in many international design projects in the US and the Middle East with a focus on energy efficient buildings, environmental design, construction technology, and green building certification. Welcome, Maysoon. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you for the invitation.
So let's get started by discussing your own journey to where you are today. Could you tell us what your journey to sustainable energy entrepreneurship has looked like?
I'm originally an architect. I studied architecture in Jordan and practiced architecture in general. And then I moved to the US and had my master's degree in also in architecture. But there I was introduced to green building concepts and how the modern architecture is reintroducing energy efficiency in architecture. So I also, after I'm finished my master's degree, I worked in a recognizable company there. And it was like the sustainability part was very important part in all architectural designs that we worked on. So I start focusing on this area and start specializing actually and taking accreditation and international certification in that part, in addition to practicing sustainable architecture. And then once I'm back to Jordan, I worked a little bit in this field, and then I decided that I want to have my own company to have a bigger impact, because I don't want only to serve one specific company. I want to be able to help more architects and more buildings in the region to be more sustainable and more energy efficient.
Amazing. And so what would you say is your biggest motivation in your day-to-day work?
I'm always very motivated when I see young architects or young engineers coming to tell me that they are very touched with what I'm doing and they want to do the same. How can they do that? So whenever I feel that I'm affecting someone, that would be a big motivation for me.
And so far, have you encountered any challenges? What have your severest hurdles been and your proudest successes?
Yes, actually challenges are, I can put them in two directions. One is general to the sustainable architecture or the energy sector and work in that section. And the other is being a working woman and a mom. That's a completely different challenge. So it's affecting all working moms, I think, how to be able to raise family and at the same time to run a company and work in such area. That's a challenge I think any working mom will face, not necessarily in our section. But for the energy part, sometimes it's very hard to change the view of people. So accepting the concepts of energy efficiency, water efficiency, sustainability in general, it's not an easy thing. Although if you ask anyone, would you like to have a building that will save you energy and water and will save resources, give you healthier environment? No one will say no. Everyone will say yes, for sure. But once you start discussing the changes that they need to have, let's say for architects, if they need to change the way they design, for engineers, if they have to take into considerations new things, for people, for the users, if they have to change their behaviors and start behave in a more efficient way. It's not easy to change behavior, whether it's through the design process or the operation of a building. So I think that's the most challenging thing.
Yeah. And how about your greatest success so far?
Actually, I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah.
For every success I have, I don't consider them like big success. I think they are like milestones in the journey. And so the success will be when all our buildings will be like very sustainable and we will be running like a sustainable planet.
Yeah. Amazing. So what would you say could lead young women in terms of their career paths or activities towards entrepreneurial activities like yours?
Keep learning. I'm still learning all the time. I will not have any day without learning new things. So don't ever stop learning, and spread your knowledge. If you share your knowledge, it will be more worthy. So if you just keep your knowledge for yourself, no one will know what you are doing. So don't think that by spreading knowledge you are like losing chances. No, if you are spreading knowledge, you are actually building demand for what you are doing, and that will be something very, very useful for you and for the whole people around you. So keep learning, make use of your time, don't waste your time. Always dream big and work hard for it, and you will find a way to do whatever you want.
Are there any specific skills that a woman needs to be a successful, sustainable entrepreneur?
Well, actually, yes, I think like soft skills, how to manage time, how to work efficiently, how to lead a team or work within a team. That will be very important, and how to communicate clearly and directly, let's say.
And based on your experiences, what are the biggest opportunities and challenges for women wanting to make a difference as a sustainable entrepreneur?
Actually, I always see sustainability related more to women, to be honest. We care more. We care more about people and we care more about our planet. We are working from the heart. When we have like a cause that we believe in, we would work really hard to do it, and it will be like deeply from our heart with passion.
And are there challenges for women wanting to make a difference as entrepreneurs as well?
Yeah, sometimes we are not taking like very much seriously. So I think this is a challenge. So you need to prove yourself, prove your knowledge and how knowledgeable you are. Don't be afraid of expressing your ideas, but make sure that your idea is mature.
And earlier you mentioned that one of the challenges was being a working mother. Do you have any top tips for combining having a career with also having a family life?
You can change work, but you cannot change family. For me, my family is number one, and then come my work. So your priority should be aligned correctly for yourself and for your, like everyone has a different opinions maybe, or maybe different arrangement of priorities. For employers, they have to be flexible because our time is not 100% for work, and it shouldn't be. Even if I'm not a mom, actually I'm a human, so I need some time for myself. I need some time for my family, for my friends. Being efficient is very important. Like when you are efficient, you can do good work, and at the same time you can keep some time for yourself. You shouldn't be available in the office like from 8 to 5. This is something that needs to change like in the whole world. So I think you can do part of your work away from office. So it's a new design for the workforces. I think it should be a new arrangement for the way we work in general, and specifically for moms, because their time is not theirs at all.
If you look back on your professional career, is there anything you would have done differently, or any advice you could give from mistakes you've made?
Yeah, sure. We do that all the time. To learn from your mistakes. And we are so attached to what we do. We do things with passion. So sometimes you get like so emotional for a project or for an idea, and then you discover that it wasn't like the best thing that you could have done. So don't be so emotional, be passionate. Try to balance your mind or your brain with your heart. Take care of your sleep. That's the biggest mistake I always do. I overwhelm myself, so I don't have time to sleep or take good care of myself.
Can you think of your most important do's and don'ts that you've encountered during your journey that you'd like to share with others?
Okay, study any decision well, explore new opportunities, but don't hesitate once you made your mind. Another thing, if you don't have like ready chances, try to create your chances. So what happened to me one time, I was looking for a job. So I had my first son, and he was like 2 years old, I think. So I didn't want a full-time job. I was looking for a part-time job, and it's really hard to find a part-time job. So the opportunities I found all were full-time jobs, but I found one in a very amazing company. So I decided to take a full-time job. And after 4 months of working, and they saw my potentials, they saw my quality of work, and they know me. So I asked them that, okay, I want to change to a part-time job. Can I do that? And they never did it before, but they accepted because I proved myself. So they know that my part-time job will give them work that's worth a full-time job. And we arrived on an agreement. So if you don't find like a ready-made chance, try to create one.
In terms of the government framework conditions, do you think the government could do more to support women as entrepreneurs?
Well, I think they don't have like, for women and men, it's the same. The same regulations. We don't have any additional thing. Maybe sometimes we will have like access to finance, like for women more. Maybe that's one thing that some banks or some financial institutes or funding agencies are doing. Not that much, but it's there. Last year, the government, they decided to go for flexible hours arrangements, but it's not applied yet. So I think that will make a big difference when it's really applied and accepted by the companies and the working community.
That's great. And one final question. What message would you give to the next generation of women aspiring to be entrepreneurs in your sector?
Okay, it's not easy because sometimes you will not have enough financials, let's say, when you are doing your own stuff. So I would advise them to build experience first. Don't rush and have your own stuff at the beginning. Try to build an experience, but during that, you start planning for your own adventure.
Thank you very much for all of your helpful insights today. It was a real pleasure speaking with you. And I'm sure all of the aspiring entrepreneurs watching this video will be really inspired as well.